What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse, the Riddler from the upcoming film, The Batman. And so here we have the Riddler pose and out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually run through his accessories. He only comes with one accessory, and that is his ice picker, which does fit in his right hand, and then he does come with a McFarlane display stand. Other than that, Riddler doesn't come with any other accessory, so let's actually take a closer look at the Riddler. And so here we have a closer look at the Riddler, and I have to be quite honest with you guys. I'm actually really liking this redesign of the Riddler. This actually does make the Riddler seem like a scary person to deal with rather than just a joke who just likes leaving riddles for people to solve. This actually looks menacing, and this is somebody you don't want to meet in an alley, especially the way they designed his mask. Very, very creepy, very stalkerish. I do like the way that the mouth looks like it's a separate piece from the mask. We do have his goggles, and then of course the helmet is a separate piece where you can see an actual head under there. I don't want to say take this off and you'll get your very own Riddler, but yeah, if you take this off you might be in for a surprise that there's really not a head under there. I do like the fact that they painted his eyes underneath his glasses. Now, I don't know if you guys can see that, but this continues the trend of McFarlane figures looking off to either the right or the left. Riddler here is looking off to the left. Now, it's not that big a deal because you'll just see his goggles most of the time, but yeah, it was fun and okay the first few times, but now that's just getting absurdly ridiculous if we're being quite honest. But yeah, head sculpt looks very nice, and I do like the mask. It was something that I wasn't sure I was gonna like, but having the figure in hand and seeing more trailers, I think this is a very good take on the Riddler. Now, moving on to the rest of his outfit, I do like the fact that they kept the green motif. If they were going to change anything about the Riddler's design, the green is one thing I think has to stay the same. That way you know it is the Riddler. You can actually see he's wearing like 3 different hoods right here. We have his raincoat, which has the bigger hood right here, and it's the darker green. Then we have like another hoodie underneath that, which is a lighter green. And you can even see he has another jacket in between his raincoat and the green hoodie. So yeah, this guy is wearing layers and layers. You can even see there's like some fuzz right there. So really nice detail there. Really like the military green raincoat, and I do believe that this is a military coat. I could be wrong. It really does look like a military raincoat, and I really love the coloration on it. I just wish it had some shading. If this had some shading on it, ooh, this would be so much nicer and so much cooler, but it does capture natural light really nicely. And then I do like the question mark right here on his chest. Really nice looking figure. There's really not much to say. He's basically just wearing this raincoat, and it looks like he's wearing those nitrate rubber gloves right here. They could even just be duct taped to his hands. Who knows, but it does look nice, and it does represent the feel of this character who's supposed to be more menacing than his previous incarnations. So I'm willing to give it a chance. Then we go on to his pants here, where he's wearing some combat cargo pants, and they look like he's geared for combat. These again continue the military-esque look. These cargo pants look very nice. The texturing is very clean on them. The wrinkles look very nice. I do like the fact that they look natural and that they're not overdone, and you can see they are tucked into his military boots, where you can see the laces are done very nicely. Very nice looking figure, and you can see on the outside of his boots the treads are nicely sculpted. On the underside we do get some treads, but you can see with all the legal jargon that they have to put on the figure, it kind of does break up that a little bit. But yeah, there's really not much to say about his overall look. He's basically just a guy wearing a mask, a creepy mask at that, a raincoat, and some cargo pants. But overall, a really nice redesign, and I'm looking forward to how the Riddler plays out in the movie. Like I said, it's not my favorite incarnation, but I'm willing to give it a chance because it does look very nice, and I want to see the direction it goes. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get the Riddler compared to other figures you may have in your collection. Here we have the Riddler posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have the Riddler posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we do have the Riddler posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And finally, here we do have the McFarlane, the Batman Riddler posed next to the Batman and Catwoman. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually move on to the Riddler's articulation. Now, Riddler does have a double ball joint in the hand, which does let him look up about that far, so you get some really good range there. Can look down, very nice, I do like that, as well as get some really good head tilt, so you get a lot of personality out of this figure. And then of course, he does rotate on that joint. Arms are on ball joints, so you can see they do pivot around really nicely. They do go back about that far, come forward to about that far, and then going out to the side. No problem, not at all for the Riddler here. They do go all the way around as well. We do have a bicep swivel, except on mine there is an obvious gap right here. I may have to heat that up and just push it in even further, but yeah, just be aware that yours might have that gap. We do have a double bend here at the elbow, giving us a really nice bend. However, we do get an ugly elbow, so do keep that in mind that the elbow isn't the cleanest that we've seen. Then we do have a ball hinge here at the wrist, which does have up and down movement, and then we can give it in and out as well as rotates on that pin. So having a look at his torso and feeling around, it does feel like he has torso articulation here at the upper part of his chest, and I can feel it going back and forth as I push and pull on the torso, but it's really limited because of how thick this outer jacket is, and they did sacrifice aesthetic for articulation. Now he does have a second ball joint down here where you can see it works a little bit better, but yeah, it's still fairly limited, so do keep that in mind. Does lean to the side, could be better. Then we have rotation at the waist. If there was just a slit right here on his coat, he'd have a little more range of articulation, but yeah, unfortunately, he doesn't, and it does hinder the legs as well, as he can only move his legs forward to about right there. You can kind of push it a little bit further, but yeah, the jacket is very thick, and it does get in the way. Going back, we don't get too much backwards movement, and going out to the side, again, that thick jacket does prevent any outward movement, so Riddler here is pretty limited. We do have a swivel at the thigh, double bend here at the knee going all the way up. I do like that. Then we have a swivel at his ankle. Then we have a hinge which goes forward and back. Forward facing pin for rocker ankle, and then we can rotate that to give him a true rocker ankle. And then finally we have a very generous toe hinge. So overall, Riddler here has some pretty good articulation, hindered for the most part, which is very unfortunate because this is a nice looking figure. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get him posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the DC Multiverse Riddler from the Batman pose for my final thoughts, and overall, really interesting take on the character. I can't really say that I don't like this design, because as far as a character design goes and comparing it to the source material, this Riddler seems to fit into the universe really nicely, and I really do like his outfit. It's a really stark difference from the bright green suit that he normally wears, and I do think this has a really nice feel to it, especially if the Matt Reeves Batman is going to be set in a darker universe. They're going to need darker villains like the Riddler here. He actually seems like a threat rather than just a cast-off goofy villain, which I'm really looking forward to how he is portrayed in the movie. I think this figure looks really nice. I just wish he was better articulated. Now, he does have the same articulation that you would expect out of a DC Multiverse figure, but that jacket, it is a pain to deal with. It's very thick. It hinders all articulation from the torso and the legs, so I do gotta knock it. As far as aesthetics goes, he's a very nice looking figure, but as far as action figure goes, he doesn't get into too many action poses, unfortunately. But that's not saying he's not a good figure. I love the detailing on him, and a little bit of black wash would make this figure look even better. If you are looking for the Riddler, you are going to find him at your local Walmart. Marts, Targets, Walgreens, or your online retailers such as Amazon, Big Red Toy Store, or Entertainment Earth, where he will run you $20. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, go ahead and check out my action figure videos as well as all my other DC Multiverse videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll gladly have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.